Hey, and welcome back to another episode of What to Do.
Last week, we focused on Foodchainlex, which is an aquaponics system in Lexington that gives back to its community. If you're not sure what an aquaponics system is, check out my last video.
In this video, we're going to talk about some of the really cool experiments that they're working on at Foodchainlex.
Like, one of them involves salt infused in the cells of kale.
Wow, that sounds like it'd make really good kale chips. Anyways, we're going to check it out, so crunch on this information.
We partnered very closely, actually since our inception, with Kentucky State University down the road in Frankfort. They're a nationally renowned aquaculture program here in the United States. So they helped us build an additional system, which we have in the back of our farm, which is our only saltwater system. And that allows us to grow marine shrimp. So this whole system is cultivating tilapia as our animal, but our back system is a marine shrimp system. It's purely aquaculture at this point. There's no plants that are combined with it. So interestingly enough, Kentucky State is doing some research on what kind of plants can tolerate that salt environment. And there's some early research, which I'm really excited about, that I'm hoping we can actually start demoing soon around kale cultivation. Kale is a pretty hardy plant. So typically you could do aquaponics with salt water, with like cultivating seaweed or something like that, or sea grasses, and no one, from a food standpoint, no one's really stoked about that. Seaweed production out of the oceans is bountiful. So the idea of like artificially farming seaweed is probably a bridge too far in terms of like where the need is. But the kale could be a really cool opportunity, because what I've been told is that the kale that is grown in a marine system like that is like pre-salted, right? So you could take a leaf from that kale plant and you can taste the salt in its cell structure, which is pretty cool. Primarily because there's more and more brackish areas on our planet, plants are evolving to also be able to adjust to a more salinity based groundwater. One of the things that we designed is to have this big arm system that all the lights are suspended from, in order to more accurately replicate the sun, to have basically the lights go back and forth. So one of the advantages of having the light system moving is that we could get by with fewer lights, because a single light fixture covered a greater area. Right now, at this point in time, one of our beds is completely shrouded in this plastic back here, this black plastic. So that would make moving our lights very challenging. That's actually a research trial that's underway right now with Kentucky State around lighting options. So we're trying, you can see we have quite a patchwork of different light fixtures that we're utilizing on our farm, and Kentucky State is helping us try to drill down of which specific light variety or light fixture is ultimately going to lead to the best growth. So in order to do that, they needed to isolate different lights with this black plastic so they could do some research trials of what's going to thrive best, which would make it impossible for our lighting system to move. But in order to compensate for that, we just added more light fixtures.
Well, I hope our three-part video series sheds some light on aquaponic farms and Foodchainlex. If you haven't seen the first two videos, go check them out, and then consider going and visiting Foodchainlex for yourself.
And speaking of light, I hope you click that like button and that subscribe button, because we've got new videos coming out in Tennessee.
We'll see you there.
See ya.